Hello everyone, we are Group 7. I am the leader, Ashraf Ekal.
Hello, I'm Nobatrisha.
Hi, I'm Isaac.
Hello, I'm Angie.
And today we are going to discuss about the effectiveness of different industries throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, who would like to start this discussion?
Okay, I would like to go first. So, as we know, the COVID-19 outbreak has affected those in industry. But for me, in my opinion, the most affected industry is the entertainment industry. Shows are either postponed or cancelled, leaving many performers and entertainers out of job and income. In this entertainment sector, I would like to focus on two main aspects, namely in terms of film industry and the music industry. In 2020, the global pandemic impacted the theatrical and home or mobile entertainment as movies, theaters, and production studios are temporarily closed. As millions quarantined, viewers were forced to stay home for their video entertainment. The global music industry is also affected by it because live music that makes up over 50% of total revenues is derived mainly from sales of tickets to live performance. With closures happening all around the world, consumers are relying on digital for entertainment using a device or application for streaming, such as Netflix, Spotify, Joox, and others. The most affected part, in my opinion, is the sales side, especially in the physical terms. Cinema critics were held greatly affected the main resources of those sectors. This will also affect the artists as they had to rely on those sales for their income. The Star newspaper also stated that with zero income since the pandemic, some artists has to take up another job for a living. So, based on what I have said, I think this entertainment sector is the most affected sector at this time of pandemic.
So I can see where you're coming from, Patricia, but I think that COVID-19 has made a greater impact on the tourism industry compared to the entertainment industry. Why is that so? One of the major impacts is unemployment in the tourism industry. As we know, some countries such as Malaysia have made travel bans and closed their borders for international tourists to curb the spread of the virus. So this has made a significant impact towards the airline industry. Flight revenues have decreased, and flight regulations have also decreased. As a result, these airline companies such as AirAsia and Malaysian Airlines have to lay off most of their employees, causing them to be jobless during this pandemic. On the other hand, some local entrepreneurs such as handicraft makers and tourist guides also heavily depend on tourism as their main source of income.
May I interrupt?
Yeah.
You mentioned that entrepreneurs of tourist companies is being affected. But you have to remember that most entrepreneurs that run these type of companies has an even larger income or have even larger salaries from other jobs or even other type of um, other type of outside income. So how would you how would you try and why do you say that it has impacted even more
Okay.
than
So
in a
yeah,
pandemic?
they do have other incomes, but like we're not sure how long this pandemic will go on. So like statistically, we don't know how long all these incomes would last because maybe the pandemic could go on for years and years and years. So yeah.
Right?
Okay, so I was saying the local entrepreneurs they depend heavily on tourism for their main source of income. So now since they have become jobless due to the lack of tourists in the country. In conclusion, we can clearly see how big of an impact COVID-19 has made as the unemployment rate has significantly increased. Yep.
I would say the food industry is significantly affected because of travel restrictions imposed by the lockdown. For example, the food and beverage section has been closed down ever since the outbreak. Therefore, we are not allowed to dine in restaurants, and more people choose to buy grocery and cook for themselves. As a result, entrepreneurs in this section generate lesser income than before. Is there any question?
Okay, I want to ask, does the food industry affect consumers with lower income?
Yes, it does affect consumers with lower income because since the outbreak, the demand rise and the seller took advantage of COVID-19 to increase the price of essentials. So therefore, the price is higher than before. And for those who didn't have job during the pandemic, it's difficult for them to afford essential because now the cost is very high. That's all for me.
All right. And for me, actually, I believe that apparel's industry is affected even more than any of your industries of your choice. Because think about it like this: nowadays, people are opting for to buy masks. It's a even higher demand, and even in fashion shows, they are showing how cool their mask is. This is not only in one or two countries, and this is going on all over the world. And also the negative impact is also there, such as there's a there's a failure of 86% in 29th January of this year alone of businesses fail because of the pandemic and because of the lack of working time, and the the amount of workers opting out of the industry itself because they being paid less. Everything being charged even more nowadays. Uh, for example, in Bangladesh, there is already $1.5 billion of garments orders that have been cancelled because of the pandemic and some travel bans in some countries. There's even 1 million government workers that that are forced to be jobless because of these businesses fails and because of the decline in revenue. To put you in perspective, there is around 60 million government workers around the world. 75% of them are females. Imagine these females. Usually these type of workers that work in factories are people that are in need, are desperate for money. And imagine these females that maybe are single mothers or having poor families trying to feed their childrens, and them being jobless is really affecting um, their, themselves and their families. So I think the parent industry doesn't only affect entrepreneurs or factories or even government. It also affects families, lower income, higher income, any. So to end this discussion, what are your opinions on which industry is the most affected during the COVID-19 itself?
Okay.
We can start with
Okay, for me, in my opinion, based on all the stances that you have said, I believe that the tourism industry is the most affected one during the pandemic. Based on what Isaac's stance and explanation, I do believe that the tourism industry is the most affected one.
Okay, in my
right.
opinion, I think it would have to be the apparel industry because, as you said, the use of face masks are now being used globally. So yeah.
In my opinion, I feel like it is also apparel industry because you know we are getting used to wearing masks in whatever we do, everywhere we go. So it is like suffocating for us, like especially for employees or workers. We have to wear it like 5 hours or more than 5 hours. So it's impacting in our life.
And for me, it will have to be apparel, not only because it was the point that I was given, but also because I think that